My wife cheated on me with our neighbor's wife. Throwaway account because my life is in shambles right now. I, 34M, have been married to my wife, Lily, 32F, for 8 years. We've had what I thought was a pretty stable marriage, nothing extraordinary, but we loved each other, or so I believed. We live in a quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind with block parties and neighbors who are way too friendly for their own good. One of those neighbors, Claire, 35F, is married to Dan, 36M. They've been our neighbors for 3 years, and we've grown pretty close. BBQs, game nights, even family vacations together. Claire and Lily hit it off almost immediately, best friends, they'd call each other. I noticed Lily started spending more time with Claire about a year ago. At first, I thought it was harmless. They'd go for yoga classes together, have wine nights, and exchange recipes. You know, normal best friend stuff. But then, things started to feel off. Lily became distant. She was always glued to her phone, giggling at messages she wouldn't share with me. She started dressing up more when she went to hang out with Claire, which felt weird because it's just Claire. She even stopped initiating intimacy, claiming she was stressed or tired. The tipping point came last week. I came home early from work because I forgot some documents. As I walked into the house, I heard laughter from upstairs, Claire's laugh. My heart dropped. I don't know why, but I crept up the stairs. I wish I hadn't. The door to our bedroom was ajar, and there they were, Lily and Claire, tangled in each other, kissing passionately like I didn't exist. My brain froze. My wife, who I thought was just best friends with Claire, was cheating on me with another woman. I left before they saw me. I drove around for hours, trying to process what I'd seen. I felt humiliated, confused, and angry. Not only had I been betrayed by my wife, but it was also by someone I considered a friend. When I finally confronted Lily that night, she didn't deny it. She broke down in tears and admitted she's been questioning her sexuality for years. Claire, apparently, was the only person who truly understood her. Dan, Claire's husband, is equally devastated. We've talked about it a few times, but honestly, neither of us knows how to move forward. Divorce feels inevitable, but I'm struggling to wrap my head around everything. How do I heal from this? I feel like I've lost my wife, my friend, and my sense of stability all at once. Any advice or insights are appreciated. Top comments. Man, I can't even imagine how hard this must be for you. Betrayal hurts no matter who it's with, but the added layer of her questioning her sexuality must make this so much more confusing. Therapy might help you process all this, both individual and couples counseling if you're considering staying. This isn't on you. Remember that. Sexuality is complicated, but that doesn't excuse betrayal. If she was struggling, she owed you honesty. You deserved better than to find out this way. As someone who's been cheated on, I feel your pain. Take your time to grieve, and don't rush any decisions. Whether you stay or go, focus on your healing first. As a queer woman, I want to say that Lily's journey is valid, but the way she handled it isn't. Cheating isn't okay, no matter the circumstances. She owed you an honest conversation instead of blindsiding you like this. Hey, everyone. I didn't expect the post to get so much attention, but thank you for the advice and support. I've read every comment and DM, and it's been both overwhelming and strangely comforting to know I'm not alone in this. Here's what's happened since. After the initial confrontation, Lily and I had a long, tear-filled conversation. She begged me to try counseling before making any decisions about divorce. I agreed, not because I'm sure we can fix this, but because I want to understand why this happened and if there's any way forward. We've had 2 sessions so far. The counselor, Dr. R, has been a godsend. She's calm, neutral, and somehow makes me feel like I'm not drowning in all this. Here's what's come out in counseling so far. Lily admitted that she's been questioning her sexuality for years, even before we got married. She thought those feelings would go away because she loved me, and for a while, they did. But when she met Claire, everything she'd buried came rushing back. She says she didn't plan for this to happen, but once it did, she didn't know how to stop. Dr. R encouraged me to speak openly about how this has affected me. I told Lily that her actions have shattered my trust and left me questioning if I ever truly knew her. I also admitted that I'm not sure if I can ever feel the same way about her again, but I'm here because I need clarity, not because I'm ready to give up just yet. Here's where things get messy. Claire is still living next door with Dan, and every time I see her, I feel sick. Dan and I talked again, and while he's furious at Claire, he told me he doesn't believe in divorce. He thinks they can work through this, which honestly makes me feel more confused about my own decisions. The worst part? Lily and Claire still see each other regularly because of the kids. Yes, Claire and Dan have 2 little ones. It's like ripping the bandage off every time I see her car in our driveway or hear her voice in my house. I told Lily this needs to stop if we're going to have any chance of working things out, and she agreed, but I'm not sure I trust her. Where we stand now. For now, I'm staying in the house. I've moved into the guest room because I can't bring myself to share a bed with Lily right now. We're continuing counseling, but the progress feels slow. I have good days where I think maybe we can find a way through this, and then I have bad days where I feel like a fool for even trying. To everyone who's asked why I haven't left yet, trust me, I've thought about it. But 8 years of marriage isn't something I can just throw away overnight. Maybe I'm clinging to hope, or maybe I just need closure before I can walk away. Either way, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'll update again if anything changes. For now, I'm just trying to survive this storm. You're stronger than most for even trying counseling. It's okay to give it a shot, but don't lose yourself in the process. Set boundaries and don't let her continue seeing Claire, that's non-negotiable. Man, the Claire situation is a recipe for disaster. She needs to cut ties, kids or not. It's hard to rebuild trust when the person who helped destroy it is still in your lives. As someone who's been on Lily's side of the fence, not the cheating part, but the confusion, I can tell you that self-discovery is messy. It's okay to prioritize your own healing, even if it means walking away. You deserve honesty and loyalty. Living next door to the other party is hell. If counseling doesn't lead to clear progress soon, consider moving, even temporarily. It's hard to heal when the scar is constantly reopened. Hey everyone, I'm back with another update. First, thank you for sticking with me through this mess. The support, advice, and even the tough love from some of you have been invaluable. Things have taken another unexpected turn, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it all. So, Lily and I decided it was time to tell our families what's been going on. We didn't go into all the explicit details but explained that Lily had been questioning her sexuality and that it led to complications in our marriage. It was one of the hardest conversations we've ever had, especially since her parents are pretty traditional. When Lily confessed everything, her mom broke down crying, but her dad, he went completely silent. At first, I thought he was just processing the news, but then he dropped a bombshell. Years ago, during the early years of his marriage to Lily's mom, he had an affair with another man. The room went dead silent. Lily looked like someone had knocked the air out of her, and I was equally stunned. He said it was a dark, confusing time in his life. He grew up in a strict religious household, and he repressed a lot of feelings he didn't understand. He claimed the affair wasn't about love or even attraction, it was about trying to explore something he couldn't explain. The affair almost ended their marriage. Lily's mom found out, and they separated for a year. Eventually, they reconciled after he promised he was committed to their relationship and would bury those feelings for good. To this day, he says he doesn't know if he's truly straight or bisexual, but he's chosen his family above all else. Lily was shaken by her dad's confession. She told me later that it made her feel like her struggle is somehow in her blood. I could see her spiraling, questioning everything about herself. She's also grappling with the idea that her dad, the man she's looked up to her whole life, had this secret. For me, it was a weird mix of emotions. On one hand, I felt some sympathy for her dad. I can't imagine living with that kind of internal conflict for decades. On the other hand, I felt angry. It's like every time I think I'm starting to understand Lily's actions, another layer gets added to the chaos. We brought this up in our next counseling session, and Dr. R pointed out something interesting. Lily's dad's experience might explain why she suppressed her feelings for so long. Maybe, on some level, she was trying to follow his example, choosing the safe path of marriage and family, hoping it would make everything else disappear. But here's the thing, her dad's situation is not ours. He and Lily's mom found a way to make it work, but I don't know if I can do the same. This new revelation has made me question everything even more. Was Lily always destined to struggle with this? Am I just collateral damage in her journey of self-discovery? Lily and I are still doing counseling, but the sessions are getting harder. Every time we peel back another layer, it feels like we're farther from a solution. I don't know if I can live with the constant uncertainty of wondering if she'll stay or if she'll eventually decide she can't deny who she is. For now, I'm trying to focus on myself. I've started going to individual counseling, which has been a lifeline. I've also been spending more time with friends and family, trying to rebuild some sense of normalcy. I'll be honest, I'm still not sure where this is going. Part of me wants to fight for our marriage because I do love Lily, but another part of me wonders if I'm just prolonging the inevitable. Thanks again to everyone who's been following this roller coaster. I'll update again when there's more to share. Comments. Wow, what a revelation. It sounds like there's a lot of generational trauma and suppression in Lily's family. I hope you can find peace, whether it's with her or on your own. Her dad's story is heartbreaking, but you're right, it's not your story. Don't let it guilt you into staying in a situation that might not be healthy for you. This isn't just about Lily anymore. Her family history adds a whole new layer, but you need to ask yourself, are you willing to live with this uncertainty forever? You deserve clarity and stability. I commend you for sticking it out and trying counseling, but don't lose yourself in the process. It's okay to set a timeline for how long you're willing to wait for answers. Hey everyone, this will likely be my final update. It's been a long, emotional journey, and I'm grateful for all of you who followed along and supported me through the darkest days. I wanted to share how things have unfolded over the past few weeks and how we're finally finding some sense of peace. After the bombshell about Lily's dad and the ongoing struggles in counseling, we both felt like we were stuck. No amount of talking seemed to bring clarity or direction. We were both drained emotionally and spiritually. It felt like we were trying to hold on to something that was already slipping through our fingers. Then something unexpected happened. Lily's mom, of all people, suggested we try attending her church. At first, I wasn't sure because faith hasn't been a big part of my life, and I wasn't sure if it would help. But Lily seemed open to it, so I figured, why not? At this point, we were desperate for anything that might offer us hope or guidance. The first Sunday we attended, I felt out of place. The congregation was warm and welcoming, but I couldn't shake the weight of everything we were going through. Then the pastor gave his sermon, and it was like he was speaking directly to us. He shared a testimony about a family in the church that had been through their own struggles, infidelity, betrayal, even addiction. They were on the brink of falling apart, but through faith, prayer, and a commitment to rebuilding, they managed to heal and come out stronger. He talked about how no family is beyond saving when you invite God into the process. For the first time in months, I felt a glimmer of hope. We started attending regularly, and the church offered us a support system we didn't even know we needed. The pastor met with us privately, listened to our story without judgment, and encouraged us to focus on rebuilding not just our marriage but our individual relationships with God. Through prayer and counseling sessions with the pastor, something shifted. Lily opened up in ways she hadn't before. She admitted that she's still grappling with her identity but that she's committed to our marriage and to figuring this out together. She apologized deeply for the pain she caused and said she's ready to put in the work to rebuild trust. I also realized I had been so focused on the betrayal that I wasn't giving myself space to heal or forgive. The pastor reminded me that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing to let go of the bitterness and allowing yourself to move forward. Update. For the first time in a long time, I feel like we're on the same team again. Things aren't perfect, we still have a lot of work to do, but we're finally moving in the right direction. Counseling is still part of our routine, but now it feels more productive, like we're actually making progress. We've also started praying together, something we never did before. It's been humbling and healing to come together in faith, even when we don't have all the answers. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm hopeful. This journey has taught me that love isn't always neat or easy, it's messy, painful, and complicated. But it's also worth fighting for, especially when there's a foundation of mutual effort and faith. To anyone reading this who's struggling in their own relationships, don't be afraid to seek help, whether it's through counseling, your community, or your faith. Healing is possible, even in the most broken situations. Thank you all for being part of this journey. Your advice, encouragement, and even your tough love have helped me more than I can put into words. I'm signing off now, but I leave this story here in case it helps someone else. God bless. Comments. This was a beautiful update. I'm so glad you found a source of hope and guidance. Praying for continued healing in your marriage and your hearts. It sounds like you've both grown so much. I'm rooting for you and Lily. You're proof that even the hardest situations can lead to something better. What a powerful testimony. Remember, healing is a process, and it's okay to take things one day at a time. You're on the right path. Thank you for sharing your journey. It's inspiring to see how faith and perseverance can transform even the most difficult situations. Wishing you all the best moving forward. Final update. Hey everyone, this will truly be my last update. After everything we've been through, I can finally say we're starting a new chapter, and I'm cautiously optimistic about the future. Over the past few months, a lot has changed, not just in our marriage but in our outlook on life. While this journey hasn't been easy, it's brought us to a place of hope and healing. A lot of you commented on how unique our situation was, and I've spent a lot of time reflecting on that. I won't lie, part of what made this process somewhat easier was the fact that Lily's affair was with a woman and not a man. It didn't make the betrayal any less painful, but it somehow felt different. There was no competition, no comparison. Her struggle wasn't about love for someone else, it was about confusion within herself. That said, it's not an excuse. Cheating is cheating, and the hurt it causes is real. But understanding that her actions were rooted in self-discovery and not malice has helped me find a way to forgive her. About a month ago, Lily told me she wasn't feeling well and decided to take a pregnancy test. It came out positive. I'll admit, my first reaction was a mix of shock and panic. After everything we've been through, this wasn't something I expected so soon. But once the news settled in, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time: excitement. This baby feels like a second chance for us. A chance to build something new together, something stronger. Lily is overjoyed and committed to creating a loving, stable home for our child. For the first time in a long time, I see the woman I fell in love with, the one who's ready to fight for our future. Claire and Dan are still in the picture, but things have shifted. After we shared how much the church has helped us, we invited them to come along. At first, they were hesitant, but they eventually agreed. They've been attending services with us for a few weeks now, and it's been incredible to see how it's impacting them. Claire has expressed deep remorse for her part in everything and is working on her own issues. Dan told me he's seeing changes in her that he didn't think were possible. It's not my place to speculate on their future, but I'm hopeful for them. As for Lily and me, we're far from perfect, but we're in a much better place. Counseling is still a part of our lives, but now it's about building for the future rather than picking up broken pieces. We've decided to fully commit to our faith, our marriage, and now, our growing family. This journey has been one of the hardest things I've ever faced, but it's also taught me so much about forgiveness, love, and resilience. I'm not naive, I know there will be challenges ahead. But for the first time in a long time, I feel ready to face them. Thank you all for following along, for offering your advice, and for reminding me that even in the darkest moments, there's always hope. I'm signing off now to focus on this next chapter of our lives. Wishing you all the best in your own journeys. Comments. This is such a beautiful ending to a tough journey. Congratulations on the baby and on finding a way forward. Wishing you and Lily nothing but happiness. It's inspiring to see how your faith helped you rebuild. The fact that you invited the neighbors and they joined shows how powerful your testimony has been. Prayers for continued blessings for all of you. What an amazing turn of events. A baby truly is a new beginning, and it's wonderful to hear how far you've both come. Best of luck as you start this new chapter. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. It's a reminder that no situation is beyond redemption. Congratulations on the pregnancy and the healing you found. God bless.